clicks, not code, not require a lot of HTML or hand construction of that site. So I'm going to log in here as a contributor to the site.
So this would be a person like me, right? Travis,
in fact, it looks strangely like you if we look at your chatter picture, Carl. So we'll get in, and this is the interface that you know and love in Salesforce, all the standard tabs that you would expect. We get into the Sites tab, and we'll go into the Motorola site. Now this is the Siteforce Studio. We'll dig into this in a bit more when we look at it from the designer's perspective, who has a lot of control over building out the pages. But a lot of this is, of course, controlled by security. So based on me being a contributor, I only have access to certain parts of the studio to be able to go in and edit content. And so we can come in here and let's say we want to make a change to some of the text here in the business phones page. And you can see on Jason's screen, that's the preview that we're looking at that's available through the browser.
So on everybody's left is the actual web page preview, and on the right is Travis doing the changes.
That's right. And now, again, based on my security, it controls what I have access to make changes. So I may not be able to add images or move the navigation around, but as a content contributor, I can very easily come in and add to the text of this particular page. So very simple, quick change as our marketing message is changing, as our product strategy is changing. Save that and instantly refresh on that side, and you can see the text that's been added right there. So great simple example of how you can push out some of the control to the people who own the messaging and let them, give them the access to be able to make those changes quickly and easily, no code, with point and click.
And really, Travis, when people talk about traditional content management systems or CMSs, they're talking about that kind of functionality usually, of letting business users like me pop in a paragraph here and there. But Siteforce goes beyond that, right? It lets you do more sophisticated design changes. Can you give us some examples of that? In fact, let's say that I, as an ambitious marketer, because I am, wanted to add a landing page for a new product that was coming out. How would we do that?
Let's take a look, Jason. So I'm logged out now from being the contributor, and now I want to log in as the site designer. So someone who has more control over the construction of that Motorola site that we've been working on. I'll come back into the sites page here and into our list of sites. And now when I get into the designer, we'll take just a quick look at the studio. So we're going to see a feed of recent changes that have been made. So we actually saw that Carl contributor made a change to that page that we were looking at earlier. And then we have the entire navigation for the site. So this is where I can very easily move around those dynamic menus. Again, not having to hand construct the JavaScript to do that, but it's all drag and drop. Now what we're going to do is, let's say we want to launch a new landing page for a product. We've got the Droid, and now we're going to launch the Droid Pro. So we want to very easily create from a template, so we don't have to recreate the wheel. We are going to just use a template and build a new page. So that business phones page that we were on earlier, I'll go ahead and just duplicate it. And we'll call this the Droid Pro. And it creates that new page. We can move it around in the menu. And Jason, if you show...
I'll refresh the preview, and then we'll go up here to the mobile phones, and well, there it is. A new page. Looks a lot like the old page, though, Travis. Can you help us out with that?
Got a little work to do. Yep. So let's pull up the Droid Pro page that we created from that business phones. This is where we now get in a bit more to the editing and construction of the page. And you'll notice that in addition to me being able to change some of the text, I also am able to add items to the page. So this is the content repository of all the various digital assets that we might use to drop into the site. This is images, this could be pre-built components to talk to databases, pre-built social components like a like button or a tweet this button, and all of these are available to be just easily dragged and dropped onto the page. So the first thing we'll do, we're going to get rid of that old Droid logo, and I'll come and look through my images library, And you can, as we roll over these, you'll see that you get a quick preview. So before you go through the effort to drag it on, you've got a preview there, but I'll just go ahead and drop that in. And now we've got our Droid Pro logo. Pretty simple, pretty easy.
What if you didn't have all the pictures in your CMS, Travis?
Great question, Jason. So the idea here is we want to make it drop dead simple for assets to be managed in Siteforce. So being able to very easily get the content that you create with your designers, whether that's on your desktop, on a shared drive, and we're able to actually take, and this is just a directory on the machine here, take these graphics and just simply drag them and drop them right into the asset manager. And you'll notice as I drop those in, right into the browser, this could be Firefox, it could be Safari, it could be Chrome. We've now added those assets immediately to the asset repository, and now we can use those and drop those into the page. So we'll do that. We'll go ahead and get rid of our old image of the Droid phone, and we'll get the new Droid Pro phone. And as I drag and drop this into the page, what's very important here is this is the exact representation of how the page is going to look in the browser. So we get full WYSIWYG. What you see is what you get, editability. And we notice that because this phone the image is a bit more narrow, we want to actually pull over the container that the image is in so that we can resize this and make this visually appealing. So very, very simple to do, quick to make changes, and now we can start to, as Jason talked about, test what works and what doesn't from a design perspective.
This is very powerful, Travis, but let me ask you this, because I like to dabble with the colors and the picture and the style of a sheet, but I don't understand CSS. So what would a guy like me do to make those kind of changes?
We're going to send you to 2 weeks of CSS training and allow you to edit. No. So the same concept here, and what we'll do is let's pull up a particular piece of text, and we've got full control over the CSS and the styles for this particular block. Certainly, if you're working with a designer where you've got the CSS created, you can upload that and use that in your site. But even if you're not a CSS expert, you can come in and open up the style here, and you have all the point-and-click controls to make changes. So we'll go ahead and, it was the blue button, but we'll try red this time. Make the changes to the text there, and pretty much instantaneously we can go ahead and refresh the preview, and we'll see.
So that is the before right there, and that's what you're intending to design right there. So we'll refresh the preview, and look at that. We managed to make our website look a little bit worse there. That's how powerful it is.
Are you questioning?